Today we have Perry Zhang help us go through the AI underwriting tool and cash flow portal. So welcome Perry to the channel.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thanks for having me.
Great. So let's go through your tool and go through what updated features you have and the AI component of it and how it helps us like operators to underwrite deals.
Yeah, absolutely. So, um, Jonathan, you do mostly multifamily, right?
Yeah, mostly multifamily. Yes, correct.
Yeah, and you
Uh,
are very familiar with the current underwriting tool and the problems that are associated with the spreadsheet underwriting. I think that's all kind of all people know. Maybe you can tell me a little bit about kind of the problem statements with the spreadsheet underwriting. Like, what are some of your pain points with spreadsheet? I know it's great and it's probably the only thing people know, but what are some of the pain points associated with that?
yeah, my pain point is that sometimes when they do a manual override and I don't see it causes the returns to be off.
Hmm.
And it hurts me because I have to review carefully each cell and each item to make sure that there's no manual override in the spreadsheet.
I like that. That's a very advanced saying. Okay, so let me share my screen here. All right, so let me just come in here. And we're presenting to your audience right now here.
Good.
So kind of just a little bit about our company. Give me one second. Um, a little bit about our company. We are a all-in-one solution for commercial real estate. So if you're in commercial real estate, GP, LP, broker, lender, we are probably we want to be the technology platform for you. We are investor portal, CRM, underwriting, and underwriting is the subject of today's talk. Investor portal is actually where we started, and so those are the kind of the very mature products, and underwriting is something that we've been working on for 2 years. Now, some of the problems, like you mentioned, for underwriting is a lot of our customers actually need to make a decision on underwriting quickly because they usually have a full-time job, or even if they are full-time in real estate, they are not full-time in underwriting. So they are underwriting on the weekends and at nights. And usually underwriting takes about 2 hours to parse all the data to just make a decision. And we want to reduce that 2 hours down to 20 minutes. So that's that. The second thing is about saving time. Right now, if it takes about 2 hours to do anything, it's like working out. People just don't want to do it. And as a result, they leave a lot of the deals sitting in their inbox and never actually get a chance to look at it.
Good.
The next one, like you said, is accuracy. Now that we've been working on underwriting for 2 years, most of the spreadsheets out there are actually kind of wrong. Wrong, not like really wrong, but wrong in like specific areas. So sometimes the amortization is wrong. Sometimes the formula is not as advanced. Sometimes they're taking the NOI of the 6th year as opposed to the 5th year. And then there are all kinds of little things that's actually not exactly correct. And also to your point, when the GP shares a spreadsheet to a LP that has the formulas changed, you can't really trust the data anymore, right? They're like overriding some of the red cells that are supposed not to be changed. And so it would be great if the platform kind of withholds the ability to make those formulaic changes and be say, hey, take like no nobody can game the TurboTax, but if TurboTax tax filings is on a spreadsheet, then you can conceivably change the formulas, right? The next one is about speed. Speed here is about, let's say you are getting like two property management quotes, one two term sheets, two kind of renovation budgets, three kinds of waterfalls. You end up with like 32 different combinations because it's like two times two times three times two and so on, right? And it's really hard to switch between the scenarios. I do know that there are a couple spreadsheets that will allow you to do that, but they don't do it in a way that allow you to change the waterfall structure, right? That you
Good.
cannot just like plug and chug the waterfall structure. So it'll be really cool if you can mix and match the different scenarios as flexibly as you can. Case in point, when I was doing my first deal, we had to update our underwriting like 3 times because it takes about 3 months to close. Every month we have a new rent roll. And so every month we're updating it. And
Yeah.
every month we're updating our sensitivity analysis. And guess how long the sensitivity analysis take? It takes 30 minutes. You change the cap rate, you look at it, you change the cap rate, you record it, and then you take a screenshot of that
Yeah.
cap rate chart. You do
Yeah.
that for IRR and
Yeah.
equity multiple and so on. And then the last one is just like not flexible. Like if you want to do certain things, unless you are like a spreadsheet wizard, it's really hard to make it work. So what we want is we want to make underwriting as easy as possible so you can get started quickly. We also want to make it as flexible as possible while maintaining accuracy. And that's the inspiration for me to create that underwriting software. So let me kind of walk you through how that looks like. Okay. Any questions? Do you feel like you resonate with the problem statements?
I do. I love it, Perry. I love your innovation, and this is what I'm looking for. And so long I can do what it's saying, then this could be a great tool for
Mhm.
people like myself, So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's talk about the actual tool. So I'm on the underwriting page. The first thing you'll see is we already broke it down into different pipeline stages. So you can have unassigned, prospective deal, preliminary screening, made an LOI, and an LOI accepted. We have some of our customers super happy that some of these are actually got accepted and they're ready to start raising money on Cashflow Portal. So we're super excited about that. And so we're already seeing people kind of going through the full cycle of underwriting to land their first deal. Really very cool. Now, and then that's the first thing which you can put it into pipelines. The second thing that's very worth noting is you can create multiple expense templates. And this is really important because you can call these templates whatever you want to call them and you can put a number to it. And so a numbers can be a total per unit, total income, and percentage of purchase price. And when you create that, like let's say you can call this Houston, Texas Class C expense template or Dallas, Texas Class B expense template. You basically can create arbitrarily many expense templates for different markets
Yeah.
because you know that market really well. You know what should be the pro forma in that market. Okay,
Yeah.
so that allows you so with the pipelines and expense templates now out of the way, let's go ahead and create a underwriting. So I'm gonna call this thing, say, North Haven Terrace, and I'm gonna make it, say, $32 million purchase price.
Okay.
And I'm going to use this Dallas, Texas Class B template. All right, click on
Oh,
next.
yeah.
Okay, now it's built in 1970. And then the address, I'm gonna put in the address. You will see why in a second. Gotta put in the address. And then I'm gonna upload some images here. Okay. Let me just upload some fancy images for the sake of this demo. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, upload that. All right. So I have this thing, North Haven Terrace. Click into it. You basically see nothing here, right? Like you're
Yeah, I
32, and
see.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Now let's build this underwriting. The first thing is you're gonna build the unit mix. You can build them one by one manually, or you can build it from uploading a rent roll.
Yeah.
Uploading a rent roll, you can upload basically any kind of rent roll, even if it's a PDF or the Excel sheet. Okay, so I'm gonna upload this easy. This is really like real life example rent roll. Okay, this is a sample rent roll. I'm going to upload it,
Yeah.
and then voila, and we basically do a pivot table on that rent roll. I parse all the unit types, gather all the total unit, including the market rent, minimum rent, maximum rent, and so on and so forth. If you want to see the specific unit types, you can see that each one of those units have been saved into our system. If you want to change the data, you can do that and then regenerate if you want to. But all of that metadata has been now in our system. We take care of things like vacant, status, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
You can also take a look at the insights. Okay. The accuracy of our rent roll is actually really good. We parse more than 95% of the rent rolls out there, even if they are PDF. That's actually the biggest part of our invention, okay, which is parsing rent rolls and T12. All right, so that's that. All right, the next step is I will do my T12 because I want to put in my expense and income. So I'm going to drag and drop this T12 over. Okay. Again, if it's a PDF, we are also able to parse it. Okay. Furthermore, once you're parsing this Excel, we actually tell you what are we doing. We are saying this is your Excel sheet, and these are the classifications for each line. Okay, so you being the user can override what our AI is telling you. So our AI is saying that all of this is other income, and that looks great to me. That's fantastic.
That was
But
fine.
our AI is saying that this is a rental income, which is also true. But our AI is saying this is rental income, but it's technically loss to lease. So you can actually say this is actually loss to lease. This is actually bad debt. This is
Oh,
vacancy loss. This is also loss to. This is actually just vacancy. This is my concessions, and there are more concessions. This is a concession, that's a concession. So you can drag and drop all the way down. These are all my concessions, just like a spreadsheet. So this is a more granular classification if you want to, but you being the user have the final say always. Okay. Here's the journal admin. That's all correct. This is professional. That's all correct. Payroll. That's all correct. Marketing. That's all correct. Now, Jonathan, here is a tricky question. Why do you think that line 67 AI is leaving it empty? So this is all journal admin coming down. And then line 67, we're saying that, hey, this we're not classifying this row.
um, this is a subtotal? Is what it is?
Bingo, that's right. If we were to say this line counted as journal admin, then you are getting double counted.
Okay. Okay, good. I
Yeah.
like that, Perry. I'm impressed you actually improve on the PDF. Huh? You're parse PDF now, right? That's
Yeah,
basically
we also parse PDFs. Yeah, that's right. Now, you can see there's no AI that can be perfect. For example, these are contrast services. But do you think this is really contrast service or this is kind of like plumbing or water and sewer? And do you think would you classify this as contrast services or would you classify this as trash?
this is more trash. Trash.
Yeah, there you go. So our AI is not that smart, right? Like, yeah, at the end of the day, nobody knows, to be honest. They're putting it under contract services. So we made the best guess, but you can reclassify as trash. And then this is technically water and sewer. I hope that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you do have to override it. This is all correct. Turnover cost, we're smart enough to say that's repair and maintenance. This is all correct. And then within utilities, we know that that's electricity. This is trash. This might also be water. Okay, let me just classify as water. Okay, and then this is also water. Okay.
Okay.
Then over here, this is my insurance. This is my property tax. That's my mobile insurance. And then this is my property management fee. And then everything else, we are smart enough to not classify the debt and we're not classifying the non-operating expenses.
Okay. Now, is there a
Right?
way, Perry, to have option for me to auto save it or no?
Right now you are saving it. I can tell you if you want the ability to say this word means this, and I can tell you that it doesn't work because in some other form, this word actually means something else.
Oh,
You can like, there's no way that like this is coming from Resman and this is specific to this one property. And I have not seen another Resman that's like 6565 contract dash plumbing anymore. It's something else at that point.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just like there are too many variations among it. Like we can implement that feature, but I feel like that might be a feature. Uh, it sounds useful, but you don't need that. Yeah, so it basically it's an unsolvable problem. That will be my opinion
Okay.
because there's too many string combinations that will make out what you want.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And it gets into a nightmare, right? Like sometimes it means that, sometimes it means that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Now let me generate. And then there's the income and expense template. Okay. So I'm gonna regenerate it. I'm still using my pro forma. Okay. Now, so I have my rent roll and my T12, and the first impression that gives me is a 12% IRR. I mean, that's pretty good. That's like worth pursuing. So I need to take a look on like what I should do with that.
Mhm.
Here is a tip on how to use the software. You can click around or you can use a keyboard shortcut because we designed it to be like a spreadsheet. So if you do command forward slash, you can actually do unit type. You can go to that tab really quickly. If I want to go to expenses, I can do command forward and go to that tab. I can do T12 and that takes me to the T12. And if I do expense again, I go back to the expense. Okay.
Is that
So
how about a Macintosh? What button is that?
in Macintosh, will command forward slash.
Command forward slash?
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And then in the window, it will be control forward slash.
Okay.
hmm And then if you want to find where they are located, is under the tips. And then at the bottom, there is like command or control forward slash open the spotlight.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, very cool. All right. So once you upload your T12 and your rent roll, the next one is basically you always want to go to modeling. Modeling is the end state. Everything can be retrieved from modeling. And what do I mean by that? On the modeling, you start off with the organic rent increase. You started with the forced appreciation rent increase. This is your total rental increase. And this is your potential rent. That's your economic vacancy. That's your net income, other income, and total income increase. All kind of makes sense. If you are not sure why is my 12% forced appreciation rent increase, you simply hover over it and you click into it. When you click into it, it takes you to where this number is getting calculated from. Okay. The next thing you might also notice that my expense ratio is 43%. That's kind of low, to be honest. So
Yeah.
I want to make sure that my total expense is actually correct, right? I see my replacement reserve is this amount, but if I want to question that assumption, I simply click into it. So a second tip is everything starts at modeling. Modeling is the end state. If you're confused how numbers came about, click on modeling, and then you click into the numbers they don't make sense. Okay?
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Okay? So there's a one source of truth, which is everywhere else, but then the modeling is kind of combines them together. So the first thing we want to look at is like, why do we think that there's a 12% rental increase in the first year? That seems pretty aggressive. So
Yeah.
let's click into it. When we click into it, that's why, because that's the rent, that's the pro forma rent, and that is a 12% rental increase.
And where
Okay.
do you get the performer rent from? Is it from the rent roll performer rent?
Yeah. So the rent here is the median rent. The pro forma rent, we actually decided to take the maximum actual rent of each unit type, believing that if that means at least one unit is renting for this much, you can bring the rest of the units up to that much.
Oh, okay.
If you decided that, hey, there are two parts I want to add to that. The first thing is let me go into the unit mix. Actually, let me go into the rent roll. Yeah, rent roll. Remember when we parse this, we technically can take the maximum rent, which is what we're doing, but you can also easily take the market rent. And if you take the market rent, you can copy this whole column and go back to the unit mix and then paste that market rent as the source of truth. And then you paste that. That would be actually a 13% increase if you're doing the market rent.
Oh, I see. I see.
Okay,
Okay.
so you can copy a whole column. That's like the next version. Now, I want to get super advanced here. Let's see. So the first thing, we can spend all day on Unimix. So I'll give you a couple more tricks. The first one is I'm gonna turn on this thing called advanced mode. Advanced mode. And
Yeah.
the advanced mode tells me what's my lease up period. By default, it's lease up over the course of 12 months, which is 1 year. That's why you see the forced appreciation in year one.
Hmm.
But I can easily make this thing to be 24 or 25 or 28, doesn't matter. Okay. Then I right click and then do fill down. So all of this now is 24.
Oh,
Click on save.
okay.
So I'm gonna lease up over the course of 24 months. Every time when you make a change, you always want to go back to modeling and see what has changed. Well, what has changed now is the forced appreciation is over the course of 2 years now.
Oh, I see. I see, Perry. Interesting. That's smart. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
All right. Now, say you have a few units that you are actually need to develop. And if you want to develop those units, then you can say, you know what, I'm gonna develop it for the course of 12 months because I need to do some renovation, or usually this is more for development and not for renovation. 12 months. And then if I save this thing, and then if I go to modeling, you'll see that year one will be smaller, and because of that 12 months of development, and then year three will have this tiny little increase because of the year one getting up to market. So we automatically take development and lease up period into account if you want to change those.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And
Right?
the market rent is in your rent row, the market rent? That's in your rent row?
The rent roll, yeah. So you want to take a look at the rent roll?
Yeah, yeah. Because yeah,
Okay,
yeah, we
show
have
you.
market rent there too. Market rent. Oh, it's in the
Yeah,
rent
these
row.
are all the market rents.
On the rent row. Okay. It should be
Yeah,
easy. Okay.
this is the market rent from the rent row. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But we got
Now
to
on the
validate that
mark,
though. Okay.
yeah. By the way, on the market rent from the rent row, by the way, I forgot to say this. This is all the units, and then if you go to Insights, you actually get this beautiful kind of charts to see like when the leases end, and also some of the rent statistics in the graphical form.
Oh, so you have a chart, a chart. Okay.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So there are a little bit more stuff here. So for example, if you have a frequency, so let's say you have an Airbnb that's actually renting out on a daily rate, you can actually change the frequency to daily. And you can change the vacancy of that specific unit type to be a lot higher than the rest of the vacancies.
Oh, okay.
Because a Airbnb has a different vacancy, inherent vacancy than a multifamily unit vacancy, right?
Hmm.
So you can do that on it. All right. So in this case, I'm executing my business plan over the course of 2 years. And that's a 13% increase. That's very fair. That's good. But these are my market rents directly from the rent roll. So then your question might be, hey, no, that's kind of cool, but I want to know what are my rent comps.
Yeah.
Jonathan, how do you usually get your rent comps? Tell me more about that.
We go on apartments.com to see
Mhm.
nearby ones. We also look at CoStar. We also look at property management, budget, and rent comps from property managers. So three
Yeah,
sources really, three.
resources. If you go to apartments.com, are you kind of like looking at one by one?
Yeah, just go online. I type the address of the apartment and then there's nearby
Mhm.
competitors, and you want to make sure it's apples to apples,
Right.
that it's the right condition, it's the
Yeah,
right age. Not some oranges out there. So
correct. Again, going back to the very beginning, that time of analysis takes you about 2 hours to do it comprehensively, and you should do that. But if the objective is to make a decision quickly, like what we say here, you want to do it in 20 minutes. And here's the 20-minute version. I'm going to do command forward slash again, go to rank comms. I'm gonna come in here, and then I'm gonna click this button called get rank comms.
oh, okay.
I'm going to do 2 bedrooms and then I'm gonna import. That's why I entered the address in the beginning. You need an address for that. Okay.
Yeah,
This takes about 5 seconds.
yeah,
And then we will grab all the rent comps nearby with the radius of from the subject property.
yeah.
Then I can do filter. And then I only have the 2 bedroom because I haven't fetched the 1 bedroom yet. I'll do 2 bedroom. I'm gonna do 1.5 bathroom and maybe also the 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, do apply. And that will filter down to all the units in my nearby with the radius of and their square foot and their rent per square foot. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You can sort them by the rent. So the highest rent was 2,100, and then the sort by square foot. It seems to me the highest square foot was $2.22, and then the next one is $1.79. So that's what we're looking at. That doesn't give you your final answer, but it gives you a universe on what you could be looking for, right?
Yeah.
So then I take this $1.80 or $1.95. I am gonna go back to my unit mix and then I'm gonna find the 2.5. This is my upgraded unit, okay? And I'm just gonna do 896 because that's my square footage multiplied by $1.79. And then the math calculation will work out. In this case, I'm still actually getting less than what I'm currently charging because this particular property, I know this property very well. It's actually the rent leader on this market, submarket. But you can actually do 896 times $1.20, and that will actually give you that 806 times $2.22, and that gives you 1,989, which is way above what they're charging. I don't think that's realistic.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just show you two things. One is you can get the rent comps very easily, and second is that you can do mathematical calculations in the cells themselves,
Yeah.
just like this.
Where you get data from? Where the data source stuff come from?
Right now, it's coming from Rentometer, but which kind of pulls from apartments.com as well.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's what kind of what Conrad does. He does Conrad or Parse.com. He checks different
That's right.
sources. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Now, how much do I trust that data? Take it with a grain of salt because that's just a data point, right?
Dave.
Ultimately, if you're gonna move forward, you should basically Google all these addresses, go to their actual website, look at their comp, and see if this is really a apples to apples comparison.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
But it gives you the universe of what things you could be looking for, right? Okay.
Right. In a fast manner, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. All right. So we just finished unit mix. That's all. That's what we have done. Any questions up to this point? Unit mix, parsing T12, parsing rent roll, and then we yeah. So that's just the unit mix.
No, no,
Any
I like it
questions?
so far. It's good. It's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
Cool. All right. So the next one is expense. So the nice thing about expense here is that you can see on the left hand side, that's my T12 graph from the T12. If I click into it, I actually know that these are my T12 line items directly from your Excel sheet. These are the things that made up my $23,000. So you can easily inspect them. Okay. If I
Make
know, like, hey, what's my $137 of marketing? I don't know. It's eviction fees. Oh, I see. That's cool. So if you don't want to classify it, you actually don't have to classify it. The marketing, you see here, this is my marketing budget. Okay. This is my T12 marketing. And that's all correct. That's cool. And you can actually sort them and see, like, hey, it does seem like they spend quite a bit of money on marketing. They spend a lot of money on website development. And honestly, if I were to take it over, I will move all of this into Cashier Portal, and so I don't have to pay the $2,600 or whatever, right?
yeah.
So there's that, and then there's my payroll and so on. On the right-hand side is whatever your pro forma to be. So my general admin is $150. My professional services is usually like $10. I don't spend that much money on professional services. And then my marketing is $250. My payroll, I'm over budgeting, to be honest, $1,700. And then contract service $350. Aha, this is what I miss. Their water and sewer is a lot higher than what I used to think that this area. So I'm gonna budget $1,000 per unit for water and sewer, and then the trash maybe budget $340, and then the repair maintenance $200. There's electricity maybe 1,600, and then insurance 800 is fine, and then this one is more like 1.5% of that, and then this one's 3.5% property management fee. So my expense now is 1.9 million, and their expense is about 1.8. So that will be the first pass. Again, we're not saying this is the truth. I'm saying that this is how you would use it. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So that's that. So that's the expense. Again, I'm gonna take a look at modeling, and you can see that. Okay, what does it look like? It seems like the first year my rent actually my total income actually decreases. Second year I'm 9% increase, then 3.54, the 3%, 3%. That's pretty good. That's a reasonable rental increase to me. Okay. My expense ratio at this point is gonna be 49%, 46%, and I'm saying I'm running it pretty lean and efficient. I believe that story. Okay, that's good. So far, so good. So the last part is about the annual debt service. And you can see my DSCR is 1.3, 1.6, 1.6. That's pretty reasonable. So, but if we want to change the annual debt service, you simply click into it. And this is how you look at it, right? This is the 75% LTV. I got a $24 million loan, 36 months of interest only, 30 years amortization, and that's my DSCR of 1.47.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Now here is something I will also do. Let's say you want to do a refinance on the third year. Typically the way you do it is you create a different spreadsheet and you have different formulas and so on. The way we do it is you will click on you basically will click on manage finance scenarios. Then you're gonna make a copy of the scenario. Then you click into it and you can call this thing with refinance.
Yeah.
Okay, you can call it whatever you want. You know that on the loan, you can actually do multiple loans. So you can do seller financing and so on and so forth. You can also do refinance. So I'm going to turn on this refinance. I'm going to refinance in the third year. My cap rate on the third year is 6%. My LTV, let's call it 75%. And let's magically say that 3 years from now, the interest rate is only 5%. Magically, okay? And so like I'm just going to go ahead and save it. All right. Once I save it, I come in here. Okay. So there's that. And then let me go into here. So let me see if this is correct. 3 years, 6%, LTV, 75%, 5%, and then this is all good. Yeah, 1% acquisition fee. Yeah, this is all good. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So my IRR here is 13%. Okay, and if I do it without the refinance, you can see my IRR is only much lower. It's only 12%. But
Nice.
when I do the refinance, my total return actually reduces because I'm just giving the money upfront. That's all we're doing. And the reason is that in this refinance, it doesn't exactly work because my LTV was already 75% from the beginning. So it was already really, really good. So there's almost no point to do a refinance. Okay. Yeah, I know for the folks that are listening, what I just did is really advanced. And so the point here is that you can create different scenarios and you can toggle between the scenarios and you can watch how these numbers change in real time.
Oh, so you just click on it? Is that what you do?
Yeah, so you basically made this active, and then this is the 13% IRR. And then yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you click
And
on the
then you
car.
can make this the active. The part that if you folks are watching, you might say, why is it that when I do refinance, my total investor return is only 42%, which is very, very low. And that the reason is that it gets a little bit complex because I have a pref equity built in. So in my waterfall, I actually have a pref equity that's built in, and because of that, let's say my I'm gonna do 30% and then to do this 70%. Um, yeah. So the calculation of the total return at the top there was actually calculating the pref equities return, and then now it's calculating the Class A's total equity return. So that's that.
Oh, oh. Where's sensitivity analysis? Let me see that one.
Yeah, so if I click into sensitivity analysis, you can see this is my exit cap rate and equity multiple, and you can download this thing. Okay, cool. This is the part in which we will change the make the graph look a lot better. But this is kind of the rent growth and the cash and cash return. Okay, then here you can see that there is a two by two matrix where there's the rent growth and the exit cap as a two inputs, and then the output is equity multiple and cash and cash. So your version is right here. So equity multiple right here, and this is my cash and cash, really good cash and cash. But then if I go up, like if I increase my cap rate, my cash and my equity multiple should drop, which is correct. Okay.
Yeah.
And I increase my rent growth, my cash and cash should increase, and so that's also true. Okay.
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 Good.
All
You
right.
have that. It's good how you built that in. It's good. Like that's
Mhm.
all I'm looking for this thing.
Yep, yep, that's right. And so what I used to do is plug those numbers in one by one, but in this case, you actually no longer have to plug those numbers in.
Good. That's good. I really like that. That's really good. It's good for like it's good quick and then you'll go deep, get check everything, make sure that everything's correct. That's what you gotta do. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. Cool. All right. And then, okay, so that's
And what's
on
the
that.
summary? What's summary? What's that summary?
Summary is basically you can take this thing and you can send it to your LPs. And for example, I can do a $50,000 investment, and then this will be all my sample return for my LPs on a $50,000 investment. I double my money in this case. And then there's sources, users, unit mix. And because I upload some images, right now, if you export summary, it will have your logo on it, and you have these kind of like charts, graphs, along with the images at the end. And you can send this thing to your LP of like, hey, if you invest, 50,000, here are your returns gonna look like. This page will love to make much more improvement on it. What we want to create is actually more like a webinar deck or like a memorandum, offering memorandum from you to the LPs with many, many like area demographics, crime rate, the attractions nearby, the restaurants nearby, and basically create your webinar deck, a semi webinar deck with a click of a button.
Yeah, okay.
Because we know your address, we know how to use AI to help you create these paragraphs. We will parse your operating offering memorandum from the broker and then kind of translate it into your own words. And then instead of making it this very simple design, we're gonna make it more like a presentation style, that slide by slide.
Okay. Good. That's good. I like your improvement. I think you improved it since initially we talked in the beginning.
Oh yes, just like Investor Portal, we have come a long way. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is a lot more stuff than I've seen than last time. So,
Yes. Yeah. Cool. So that's that. All right. Now let's talk about. So we talk about unit mix, expense. We talk about finance. We talk about rent comps. There are two more things I want to talk about. One is you can share this. You can share this with your GP, LP, and you can do a collaboration, or you can just give them a copy.
yeah.
Okay. So that's also new. That's built in. Um, the last thing I want to talk about is you can model really complex waterfalls. Okay. And the way, like, for example, you can say during the non-liquidation event, my pref equity person gets a 6% cash and cash. Then they achieve the LP gets 8% cash and cash and then 70-30 split. That's on a non-liquidation event. During the liquidation event, my pref equity gets their money back plus a 14% cumulative cash and cash for all the years we hold them. Then LP gets their money back, then a 70-30 split, and then they achieve a 15% IRR, and then thereafter it's a 50-50 split.
Yeah, it's very complex. That's a very complex one. Yeah.
Right. And so what you can do is that you can build all kinds of fund of fund structures into it because right now we have Pref 1, Class A, Class B. There's nothing preventing you from, say, add one more class and then
That's
drag and drop here and then call this thing Class A2, LP with a $1 million, call it fund of fund. And this is Class A1. There's
yeah.
nothing preventing you from saying that. And then this one is not 70%. This one is maybe like 50%. And this guy invests, say, 20%. And my pref equity invests, say, 20%. And that adds up to 90. Let's call this one 30%. So add up to 100% of total funds.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So you can model your fund of funds that way. And then when you do that, and then you can go to the waterfalls, and you have to build in the waterfalls.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. That's nice. That's nice.
I don't know any spreadsheet that can do this kind of stuff. Like it's just you can do it, but it's like this IR hurdle is almost impossible to build.
It's very hard because they don't know what exact flavor you want to do. So it's very, but this is kind of like a standard thing. So this is
Right.
good. It's easy. But the one that Mark Kenny, I know he built that one. I
Hmm.
analyzed it. It's very difficult to get it right on a spreadsheet because you don't know which way exactly how you want to do it. That's the hard part about it.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I got really into like this whole waterfall and sensitivity analysis and underwriting in the last couple years. And that's what I realized going back to the problem statement is that most of the time, we thought it was a convenience thing, but the more I got into it, the more we feel like the differentiator is actually accuracy.
It's accuracy. I think it's
You
accuracy
cannot
because
go wrong because we have constraints to make sure you don't overwrite any formulas. Mhm.
right. That's good. That's why I like it. I like your software because I'm looking for a software that can not have make a mistake and then a smaller one tiny form in Excel, it's hidden. You can't see it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's
you're like,
right.
wait, what the hell's going on here? Now the whole thing's like is off, you know?
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
so that's that. Yeah, so we pretty much cover almost everything. Um, the next version of this, which could come a few months later, is you see the waterfall here. These waterfalls are not the easiest to set up. You have to like you can do it or not, but what we want to create is basically you can speak to it in English and we will just build it for you. So almost like an AI agent, like, hey, can you just give me these are my classes, this is how it works, this is the English version of it. Can you just build the model for me? That's coming.
Okay, so kind of the magic, kind of like a Zapier tells it what do you want to do in the magic wizard does it for
That's
you.
right. The Zapier has the AI integration right now. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, has a little wizard. They all do it for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
good. I like it, Perry. Now I want to use this thing now. because
Hmm.
now you convinced me more. Before initially, I was like, I'm not sure about this, man. Now I'm more deeper. Now I see the value behind this now. So
Hmm. Yeah, thank you.
okay,
Hmm.
okay. Because
Right.
now you built it out more. You're further along now. You're further along now.
Um, with every entrepreneur journey, it's like that. It's like nothing, 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 and then it crossed that threshold of being useful, and now we are in that territory.
It's kind of
And
like a
I,
J curve. J curve. You go deep underneath, like nothing, nothing, and then after you made a curve, it's like then you go
that's right.
like that,
It's
right?
like a bamboo, just like yeah, like a bamboo. Hmm.
Mhm.
It needs to go down before it goes up. Um, okay, so the for your students and anyone that's watching this, we again we want to spread underwriting.
Okay.
And the reason I like underwriting so much is that I personally underwrote with my real estate business partner 435 deals. Mostly he did the underwriting. I don't really do the underwriting, but I know a lot about underwriting. And every one of them was using a spreadsheet. And so we need to we can do better on it. And so we have a very good pricing model. Let's talk about that.
Okay, let's see what that is now.
So our pricing model is catered towards folks that are kind of just starting out and emerging and trying to get their first deal. So you go to pricing and you click on underwriting.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have three versions. The first version is that if you are trying to get your very first deal, you can do the beginner version, and that gives you one new deal a month. That's only
Okay.
$19 per month per seat. Okay.
Okay.
And we believe that if we can say you at least one deal a month, that's at least $19 because you're probably gonna spend 2 hours on it, and we only we it saves you about 2 hours a month. If you want to do more deals that month, then you can do the emerging, and that gives you five new deals a month. And so most people choose the emerging because if you have your first deal and you're doing your second deal, you're probably underwriting about 3 to 5 deals a month, one a week. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's the $49 per month per seat. Then the last one is the $79 per month per seat, and that's 20 new deals a month. That's sufficient. If you are a brokerage firm or like if you're a very large investment firm that you want unlimited deals, just contact us. We will give you a bespoke pricing for your whole team.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. I can refer to some of my brokers who made up some
Yeah.
AI underwriting tool, and then refer to you, Perry.
Yeah, so I gave this talk to some prominent brokers from Marcus Mutual and some prominent lenders from Dallas. Probably a lot of people know them, and they say, "Wow, I'm so amazed. You need to give this to more folks.
More folks.
Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need to show it to more lenders and brokers." And most of our money, just to be clear, will be made on the unlimited deals. Most of our money. However, we feel very confident about our product. Like just put us to a test, upload a T12 in a spreadsheet or in a PDF, and just we just it's like magic. And so you can get all of that information with just $19 per seat. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. That's
Right.
a good deal. That's a good deal
Yeah.
for like one
Yeah.
deal a month or something. That's good.
Exactly, and that's a year. That's a per year thing, though. Right, just to be clear. So, we believe in a year commitment. You also, to be clear, you also have 2 weeks of free trial. So in that 2 weeks, you don't put in your credit card. You just try it. If you don't like it, you just move on and delete it, and you don't have your credit card, so you don't get charged. After 2 weeks, then it's $19 per month per seat for the whole year. So times 12. So that's what you get billed out. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
I love it. Good.
mhm.
Good. Good.
So we have changed our pricing model to just make this more of a like democratized underwriting tool. Right now, the underwriting tool I believe is very very expensive. It's an enterprise software only aimed for the brokers and the large institutional firms, and we want to bring it down just so that everyone, basically everyone, can use it. In fact, they probably gonna use the underwriting more than they use the investor portal because this is for everyone, right?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of my students would probably use this, Perry.
Yeah,
I
I
refer
like
my
it.
students to use this for $19 a month if they do one a deal or something.
That's right.
They,
That's
they
right.
might do the $49 because one deal is like it's very little. So maybe
Yeah,
$9 a
yeah,
month.
yeah.
So
That's right. Hmm.
okay,
Cool. So
cool.
yeah, that's basically it. I will also tell you the most frequently used feature is the share. And so when you share this when A shares it with B, B is just like a co-sponsor. B doesn't pay.
B doesn't pay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when A shares it with B, when you collaborate or separate copy, B does not pay.
So like a guy like Conrad, if I pay for it, Conrad gets extra share free to him, or he shares it to me free. Is that how it works?
Yes, so Conrad can share with you and you don't pay. But whenever you, Jonathan, wants to create your own underwriting deal, that's when you become the customer. Because when Conrad shares with you, you are just a co-sponsor, quote unquote. So you don't pay, just like investor portal, right?
Oh,
Co-sponsors don't pay. But when you try to do your own stuff, then you start paying.
but let's say I have a team member, I delegate him to underwrite. It's underneath me. So is there a way to do that?
In that case, both of you do need to pay. And the way you do that is you need to go to company and then you do like members and then both of them pay. However, you might say you and Conrad are actually different companies. They don't have access to anything. And they are just creating on their account and they share specific deals with you, being the kind of the mentorship, coach. In that case, you don't pay.
Oh, okay.
If they just share specific deals with you, they then the co-sponsor doesn't pay. Now, obviously, we're gonna limit kind of the potential abuse of that idea, which is if you are on the beginner version, you can only share it with at most one person. And if you are doing the emerging, you can share it with at most five people and so on and so forth. So we're gonna limit the number of people you can share so that doesn't become like one person in the whole mentorship buys it and then share it with everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's way too, but at the same time, we feel very confident of our software. And if they want to do that, that means everyone get a sense of what cash flow portal underwriting is all about. It's like it's not the end of the world for us. Like, yeah, right now we're just trying to get more people to use it.
Uh-huh. Okay, good. Perry. I like it. Thank you. Thank you for the sharing. I think
Mhm.
is there any question to reach out to you, right? So you've got any
Yeah, that's
questions?
right. Anyone, if you have questions, you know, you can just actually put us to the test. You can forward your Renro and T12 to this email address. That's my email address. So you can just email me and go on a call. And by the way, if I think you folks might be this might be too late, but we do have a webinar coming up on Wednesday, which is very similar to what we just talked about. And we're gonna put our recording also on YouTube. So check us out here on
Okay.
February 12th, 2025. And
Okay.
once we are done, there will be a recording and it will be uploaded to the Casual Portal YouTube page. So on YouTube, just search for Casual Portal and there will be a recording called Underwrite CRE like a ninja. Okay.
Okay, great. Great. Thank you, Perry, for that. And
Mhm.
looks good. Thank you.
Yeah, amazing. I'm very proud of how the team has come, how far we have come on this end. Mm.
2 years. Well, I didn't know it was 2 years. I thought it was like 1 year or something. Okay.
We got really serious a year ago, but we've been working on it for 2 years. Hmm.
2 years, okay, from inception. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
And tell us
Yeah.
a little bit ahead your next plan, PM. What is that? What do you do as PM, property manager? What's your new thing you're
Yeah.
going?
Property management, we are going to launch it by end of February. And the first version is just gonna be collecting rent. That's it. And so this is it. But we're gonna charge super low. We're gonna be like $8 per month, and then you pay for the ACH fee, which is like couple bucks. And so there's that's how that works. But what we want to do, I want to go back to here. We want to create a all-in-one solution for commercial real estate. So you have the property management that is your PMS system, that's your accounting system. We have double entry accounting. Then you have underwriting, which is how you get started. And you have these performas and actuals, right? And then you can use our investor portal to communicate the performas and the actuals to your investors. And how you communicate it is through our CRM. And so we are building a ecosystem, a operating system for commercial real estate. And without property management, that vision cannot be true. Like we don't want to be, you want like customers just want everything to be consolidated in one platform.
Hmm. So
There
property
is,
management means like a resume, like a resume, kind of like that, like a resume.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a very different ball game. It's very difficult. It has leasing, payment, vendor management, maintenance requests. There's all kinds of stuff that can happen. We fully understand, but in order to actualize our long-term vision, we have to do it.
Yeah, that's a very big undertaking. Like a resume is a very big. It's like a real page, like a
Yeah,
on site. That's a very big undertaking. So,
I know it's a very big undertaking. Yeah,
but ultimately, when we vertically integrate, we need something like this in-house to do the software.
right.
Ultimately,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
When you get big, you need to vertically integrate your
Hmm.
PM.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I will also say if folks are looking for the the sister of property management, called asset management, meaning that you are not that big as a GP, and so you are subject to using whoever the property management company decided to use, right? So you have Appfolio, Resman, Yardi, and it's like five different softwares, and you want to consolidate them so that you can write your reports. We are also working on what's called asset management.
okay.
Okay. Asset management is pulling the data from different softwares.
Okay.
We use our proprietary parsing tool to parse it into the data that we understand, and we will show you charts of like your rent per square foot is increasing or decreasing over the last 6 months. How is it trending? What's your lease up strategy? How are you spending on maintenance and repairs and expenses? Any spikes in any one of the months? And then you can appropriately communicate those to your LPs.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Look for asset manager tool that help us track the KPIs easier.
True.
That's what we're looking for. So we could upload like a maybe income statement or something, and
That's right.
you tell us what it is going on.
That's exactly right. Yeah. You can upload them, but we want it to be that you can just forward them, or you can just send this email address a report, and we all of them can know which deal it goes into.
Okay, okay, good, Perry. I really like your innovation and cash flow portal. It's good. You're getting up there, man. It's good. And your
Yeah.
vision changed a little bit. It was just the investor portal. Now it's all in one for commercial real estate investor, right? Is that what you just all in
Yeah,
one?
our vision has changed. Yeah, that's right. We want to be, yeah, uh, we, uh, we are more ambitious now, but at the same time, I fully understand that it's gonna take a long time to get there. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's good. But you're on the right path. That's good. I know your investor portal is mature. Your CRM is getting there. It's almost there.
Yeah,
Then
that's right.
your pallet's been a while now. It's okay.
Yeah,
And your
yeah,
underwriting is relatively new. That's your new part. And PM is a beta, so it's very new.
yeah, yeah. It's like a baby. Yeah,
Yeah, so
good
you
call.
have
Great.
okay. Well, thank you
Mm.
very much for that, Perry.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Mm.
Yeah.